financially free, and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline, very,
If I screen shared it, like there's no excuse. Like phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk Terra Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning on the morning show. If you're trying to start your day right, you've come to the right place. We're big believers of momentum here, so let's get going for the day. So today's topic of discussion, good morning. Thanks for tuning into the show this morning. If you ever think about the past, I think a lot of people are doing a lot better with this, but it still limits us in so many ways. I got to get my notes out. I'm a little jumbled up this morning, and I was typing out the description. I got excited and kind of talking about this topic because it means a lot to me. So hopefully we have a good one for you guys, and we can kind of get some more out of it. So what is the problem? What is the problem with regrets of the past? I had some notes that I've been trying to really think about how I want to make an impact and how you could make an impact and how we can just having a better understanding of regrets of the past, worrying about the future. If we can reduce these two spheres of suffering for people, I think we can make dramatic changes, improve quality of life dramatically, and that's our mission here. I had some notes on the past yesterday that I was really enjoying. I believe that events from the past cause a desire for substance abuse and causes us to not take action. So this is the big worry with the past, I believe, is that in the past, this is where people find cravings for substance abuse, such as alcohol, nicotine, marijuana, pharmaceutical drugs. The past is where I think a lot of that weighs. I think people don't nearly abuse substances for like desires in the future and worries about the future as much as healing traumatic. They use substances to heal symptoms of the past, and that can be really dangerous. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So substance abuse, and not taking action. So when it comes to the time, this is my theory, right? This isn't 100% right. This is from my experience from working with over 100 people now, working through a bunch of my own stuff, and continuing to every single day, I'm learning something about coaching and keep diving deeper and deeper into it to try and be the best coach I can be. And it kind of keeps up in my writing and my reading that in the past, we have these pains and stuff happens to us, such as a traumatic event. We don't handle something correctly. We just flat out regret it. We regret something that had happened, or we wish it hadn't have happened. And it creates this void, this pain inside of ourselves. And when we feel this pain, we want to avoid it. The number one thing that most of us do is we run away from it. This is something I did for a long time with kind of like feelings and stuff with my dad. And I've worked with lots of people who've done it with their parents, who have done it with their bosses even. And when you have these traumatic experiences, you usually get something that Eckhart Tolle, one of my favorite writers of The Power Now, you get something like a pain body, and people don't want to go into the pain body. And a great way to numb it is substance abuse. So this is why people crave alcohol so badly. This is why people crave cigarettes so badly, because if they don't do it, then they don't give themselves permission to feel. And these substances are really good at numbing the pain and forgetting for that moment in time. So that's a big reason why I believe people have such a bad time giving up alcohol, because a lot of times it's tied to something in your past. And it doesn't even need to be this like, oh, my dad beat me, or oh, and my dad didn't beat me, by the way. This bad happening or something, very traumatic, it doesn't need to be that extreme. There can be even small instances. I think when I was younger, I fought one of my friends, and then our friend groups broke up for a while, and then I didn't get to see a lot of my friends, and I was pretty traumatized by it. And not so traumatized, but the pain of it and stuff like that. It can even be something as small as that can cause us to lead to need, quote unquote, need substances. If you believe you need a drink, if you believe you need a cigarette, if you believe you need pills to handle your pain, then you're curing symptoms and you're not actually working on the problem. And I believe there's traumatic experiences that we could work on to kind of help get over this. So we know this. And additionally, the next part of it will be taking action, not taking action. So say if you have, in the past, I've been rejected by people who I've loved, and I was rejected for a few other things with friend groups, rejected reaching out to girls, rejected for doing this and doing that, rejection in my life. And it has definitely impacted my confidence and my ability to do sales, to handle rejection, to be able to work with people in rejection. So I think the past can also really limit people's ability to take action. If you really wanted to do something, if you really wanted to lose 10 pounds, if you really wanted to get in really good shape, if you really wanted to build out a big business, if you really wanted to help a lot of people, you would be doing it, or you have something that you're holding on to that's stopping you from doing what it is that you want to be doing. So I believe that I truly want to be doing this. I believe that I want to do this coaching company. I believe that I want to sell this product. I believe I want to make a lot of money. I truly do. And I think I'm still running into the wall, and I'm still struggling with this, by the way. These topics are always selfishly things that I'm working on because I'm being very open and honest with myself. So I'm just imagining that. And after working with dozens and over 100 clients now, kind of seeing the same thing with them, like, oh yeah, totally. There's a brick wall and it's got my name written all over it. So we're working on this stuff together. And something I've noticed specifically is I'm having a really hard taking action on sales calls. And I think you could relate it back to yourself, whether it's sales calls, it's eating past 7 p.m., it's not working out, it's not working on that hobby that you said that you really wanted to start that light your soul on fire. It's not starting that business idea. It's not getting started on something new and adventurous. It's not changing that job because your current job doesn't bring you any joy today. Like, you should really love what you do for work. It's just takes up too much time and too much of your life. So substances, the past can help explain substances, and it can also help explain not taking action on certain things. So what can we do to combat this stuff? What can we do to help get rid of regrets of the past? And we're going to go ahead on the board here. We're going to write out a little exercise, and ignore this. I'm sure this drawing was kind of distracting. I'm trying to draw a new metaphor and create this new sales video for trainings and for companies that I'm trying to put out there. It's called The Ocean of Life, but we'll do a whole nother episode on that some other time. But I'm going to go up here. I'm going to erase this stuff before we get to work. Is everyone having a good morning this morning? Good morning to you all. Good morning. So let's go ahead and get rid of this Ocean Life. And don't worry, I did take a photo of it and I have a recording, so not losing it. I've also drawn it out, and in my notebook, I've been trying to draw more to illustrate for the book idea that I have. I think people like illustrations. I'm not a very good drawer, as you can see from my stick figures. I'm not very good at drawing. I don't think people say drawer. Welcome to the Dr. Tanner Morning Show, where I clean chalkboards. Isn't this fun, everyone? Okay. We don't need that much space, but let's just get it all out of the way so it looks good. This exercise is all about writing out your top 5 accomplishments. So these are some exercises I've done that have been really helpful with healing pain from the past. Essentially, you are going to remind yourself and make a healthier attachment to the past version of yourselves. I think it's very easy to berate ourselves. Oh, I could have done this better. Oh, I could have done this better. So I didn't read a whole lot until I was in college and after college. And anyone who knows me in high school, I wasn't a very hard worker. I had like C's and some B's and stuff like that. And then I turned it around dramatically in college and got 3.8 GPAs, 4.0 GPAs, finishing higher up on the class ranking. So I think we can always continue. I say that because we can continue to change how we look at ourselves and continue to see the goal of today is to reduce the suffering of the past and use it as a powerful tool, because we can use the past to create a better future. We can use the past to create a plan and better understand who we are today. We can use the past to heal ourselves. So I think we want to live in the present moment as much as possible, but I think we can improve this present moment by being a little more strategic on how we heal ourselves from the past. So, and my favorite way to do this so far, I've gotten the best results for it, is just you write out your top 5 accomplishments. I want you to write out your top 5 accomplishments in your life. Top 5 accomplishments. And something I used to regret. So I remember doing this for the first time with my coach. Let me kind of angle this camera a little bit better so you can see it. I remember doing this exercise with my friends. Maybe you relate to this. You have a hard time talking yourself up. You have a hard time treating yourself with respect. Anytime someone gives you a compliment, shove it out the door. Oh, wow, you've gotten really good at this. Yeah, but it could be a lot better. Oh, wow, this has come so far a long way. It's like we're barely even getting started. You know, just kind of always spinning it negative when it comes to you because you're trying to be quote unquote humble. That's not great for what we're trying to do today. For healing regrets of the past, you got to get a little energy in yourself. You got to get a little confidence in yourself and remind yourself that you do have an inner badass. You've done a lot of good shit. And it's using that to apply it to figure out and give yourself real evidence. People need evidence. Look at everything that you've bought in the past. Usually look at reviews. They're always saying, look at the reviews, look at the reviews, look at the social proof. And I think if we could do this for ourselves, that we could heal ourselves and we can make a better version of ourselves to reduce suffering and improve quality of life. Our mission here at our company. So, number 1 accomplishment for me is finding my partner. Finding my partner. So, my number 1 accomplishment, I believe, is finding my girlfriend who I'm with now. We're coming up on 2 years here shortly, and she's absolutely changed my life in so many ways. It's hard to put in words. And that is, so that's my number 1 accomplishment. When you just think about, so the goal is, as you go through these, think about if these didn't happen. How different would your life be? What would you be doing? What would you be feeling? Where would you be at? And using that as an anchoring system, be like, holy crap, that's awesome. And that all of the past is a culmination of what has come to fruition today. If I wouldn't have made those mistakes, if I wouldn't have done this, then I wouldn't value and appreciate exactly what I have right here. So I would say my number 2 accomplishment is strong relationships. Strong relationships with sister, brother, mother. Sister, brother, mother. Sister, brother, mother. Yeah, I wasn't super close with my family growing up. My mom always had my back, took care of me and my brother through and through everything. So of course, shout out to her. My brother, we used to butt heads quite a bit, but now we've become total best friends. My sister was 10 years older than me, and we didn't talk about much. We didn't connect on really anything. She was in college when I was like at middle school. So, and then even when she was in my life, I was so little and tiny, I don't remember a lot of it. But now she lives closer to me. I see her a lot more, and it's really special. So it's pretty incredible. I would say that's my number 2 accomplishment. My number 3 accomplishment, and notice how the first 2 weren't about money. Weren't about money, because it's like, okay, if you got rid of everything, what would you miss most? And it wouldn't be the rental property. It'd probably be my girlfriend and my family, first off. So just kind of thinking through accomplishments. Like, these accomplishments don't need to be every single one. Like, my next one coming up is about money, but just, I think sometimes I've had clients who get really hung up on like financial freedom and making $1 million and having more rental properties and doing this. And it's like they're living through their business completely. And that can be really dangerous, because you're bigger, and your heart and your love and all this stuff goes far beyond your business. And we don't need to get into that today, but it's true. Next one up is about money, though, and it's financial freedom before 30. Financial freedom before 30. Okay, so I've reached financial freedom before 30. Pretty much totally control when I work, however I work. I think financial freedom can be defined of you covering all your bills and continuing to invest while you do what you want, where you want, with whoever you want, as much as you want. This is a classic success definition from Tony Robbins. I still absolutely love it. But I believe I've reached financial freedom before 30. I love what I do, and it's crazy. It feels pretty surreal, but I'm really excited about the future. I'm excited about the writing projects. I'm excited about the courses and our high ticket coaching stuff that's moving forward. So it's pretty cool. And also kind of seeing, we just got to go sign another new lease for one of our rental properties today. And yeah, stuff's going really good on the financial side for that. So that I'd say is my number 3 accomplishment. Number 4, I would say my accomplishment would be, and these are for you, right? You want to be writing out your accomplishments. I'm kind of just taking the time to do this to maybe you get to know me a little better and see that I'm a human being and yada, all that good stuff. So next one up would be my MBA. So I was the first person to graduate with a master's degree out of my family. That felt pretty good. A lot of my uncles and a lot of my other family members didn't graduate high school and stuff like that. So coming from a small town with very little money growing up, and I think our household income around $30K as I was growing up, and still able to graduate with an MBA and have no debt. So it can be done. It can be done if you're willing to get the good grades and you're willing to read the books and write I feel like nobody actually wrote the scholarship papers, and that brought me a ton of money. And that really saved my butt. But and getting MBA, the last one is number 5 is living out of my car. Living out of car. Living out of my car. So I traveled the country. I headed for like over 3 months east, over 3 months west. These were 2 different spurts, but living out of my car multiple times, just hitting the road, going from national park to national park, going into cities. I was interviewing for real estate jobs. I got offered jobs in areas in South Carolina, in North Carolina, in Florida, in Illinois, out in Colorado, out in California. I was just looking for real estate companies, or I think what I was really looking for was a possible mentor or somebody who would take me under their wing. And I ended up in Chicago, and I was doing real estate in there after I was done with that for a couple of years. And just being out on the open road and like having to force myself to figure out, where the hell am I going? What do I want with my life? Like, what do I truly want? that's a big part of what our course here, our 6-week course is like, understand who you really are and what you really want. I think it's really hard to be happy if you don't have those two things figured out. So we have a 6-week course to help you do that called the One-Page Life Plan. But that kind of got me going on that and just being curious. And I'm a weirdo sometimes. I'll just not listen to any music or podcasts and just kind of be silent in the car and kind of think for a while. And a lot of that time out on your own, you're just alone for months at a time. I think I was in West Virginia and I didn't talk to a single person for like 4 days. And I know 4 days doesn't seem very long, but think about the last time you went 4 days without human interaction. Figured out a lot about myself. I filled up tons and dozens of journals, just trying to like figure out my life and all that stuff. And I found that very helpful. So I put that number 5, but very proud of it. And it was really fun. But yeah, these are my top 5 accomplishments. And now the goal is, after you have your top 5 accomplishments, you think to yourself of other past events, things that you possibly regret, things that you possibly could let go of. And think about how these wouldn't be possible if you didn't have all of those experiences coming together. So if I would have just went super hard on school, then how much would this MBA really mean to me? Probably not very much. If I came from a family who everyone had a high-end degree and everyone was a doctor and I only had an MBA, would I even care about it? Would it make me feel like crap? So I think we can use these as anchor systems. We want anchor systems, life jackets and stuff, to help anchor us and give us evidence that we are capable. We are capable. Look at all the stuff that you were able to do. Look at the things you're able to accomplish, and use that as evidence, momentum, and fire in yourself to help you try and do what it is you need to do today. Maybe you just need to fix a few things on the past. And if you're running into things in the past consistently and they're continuing to beat the crap out of you, you can talk to a coach, you can work with a coach, you can work with a therapist. There's lots of people and lots of open outlets today that you can use to try and better yourself, to try and strengthen this relationship. Because poor people suffer from the past and rich people leverage the past to make better plans, to make better futures for themselves. The goal is to live in the present moment as much as possible. That's a big part of our training. That's why we have meditations and exercises in the 6-week course. However, just taking the time to change your definition, to change the lens that you look for, and see that the universe is working for you and not against you, that all of the stuff in the past has created the opportunity to accomplish this stuff. And then look at how much more opportunity you have going forward in the future. And try and enjoy it as much as you can along the way. Because if you're not enjoying the present moment, it's pretty much impossible to enjoy at all. You want to take the time to look at the past. You want to plan for the future. You plan it, then you're done with it. Bam, right back to the moment. Because that's where true living, reduced suffering, and higher quality of life really sits to shine. Try this exercise for yourself. Go ahead and write out your top 5 accomplishments. Give yourself some evidence about how you are a badass. It's okay to say you are a badass. Give yourself a nice round of applause. Kind of keep working on yourself. Keep getting better. And see what's really out there for you. Open up your eyes. Open up your windows. And if you don't like the accomplishments that you write out, keep thinking deeper. Maybe you need to think smaller. You've done enough. If you are healthy and you are capable, then, or if you're not healthy and capable, maybe that's you overcoming this is your superpower, or kind of continue to embody and work with what it is that you're working on. I think can make the difference between higher quality of life or suffering for the foreseeable future. We have the keys to the Cadillac if we want them. The accomplishments are here. These were mine. Hopefully it was fun getting to know me a little bit better. These are my top 5 accomplishments. I'm curious to what yours are. If you really enjoyed this content, please make sure to like the video, comment an emoji, and share it with somebody who you think could benefit from learning about the past and learning about themselves and gaining evidence and momentum. In case you needed to hear it today, I love you. You're a badass. You got this. Get your accomplishments out, and I'll catch you on the next episode. That's all I had for today. I'm over on time, folks. I was having too much fun this morning. Also, you had to watch me clean the board for like 5 minutes. So that's where we're at over on time. I love you all. Enjoy your day. This was How to Get Rid of Regrets of the Past, Changing Our Mindset and Lens on the Past, episode 307. I will be off for the weekend, folks. I'm excited, getting Saturday and Sunday off. I'm going to see some friends. I'm going to hang out and have a good time. And then next week, we'll be back on 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, live with another episode of the Chuck Tanner Morning Show. Cheers, friends. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Get those accomplishments